So I've been thinking about this idea of how your brain and your thinking, your mind is like the TSA. And I'm going to think through this here live on this video, and I don't know how it's going to go, but so here's the idea. Your mind operates like the TSA. So what is the TSA doing? The TSA is looking for contraband. They're looking for things in your luggage that are dangerous, that are going to explode, that you could hide something in. They're looking for, CO2 cartridges or water bottles. I don't know what water itself, not water bottles. They're looking for, big hunks of metal, weapons, ammunition that you might have forgotten is in your luggage. Things that are going to cause, bad things to happen on a flight, potentially. And what is it that they find? Do they find the 7 outfits that you packed, or the 10 t-shirts that you put in your luggage, or your underwear, or your socks? No, they don't find that stuff. They find what they're looking for. Sometimes they find other stuff too, but most of the time they find what they're looking for. Your mind operates exactly the same way. Your mind, our minds have a negativity bias because of the need that they have for preservation, self-preservation and safety and security. So like I call the ego, also another name is the protector controller. So it's constantly predicting, doing its best to predict the future based on your past in order to keep you out of trouble, right? So it's looking for bad shit that could happen. Bad shit being equivalent in the TSA world of the contraband in your bag. And guess what it finds? It finds the bad shit. It's constantly scanning for things that you do wrong, things that you louse up, things that you are not perfect in accomplishing, things that you're delaying on, things that are where you're not measuring up in its mind. And its belief is that by pointing those things out to you, that you will get, it will remind you of what a louse you are, and you'll up your game. You'll get better at those things. It doesn't calculate for the negative impact of that over the long term. The feelings of insecurity and lack of worth and suffering that is caused by the constant scanning for your not enoughness or your unworthiness or your lack of safety. But it's hopelessly finding those things because A, that's what it's looking for, and B, it has a incessant need to be right. Why would your ego need to be right? It needs to be right to justify its existence. It doesn't, your ego doesn't quote unquote exist. Like you can't cut your body open and find your ego, right? So if your ego ceases to be useful, like let's say it's always wrong. Let's say its perception is always wrong. It ceases to be useful. You just ignore it. Forget about it. Don't pay attention to it. Like why would you if it's wrong all the time? So it gets its power and credibility by being right. So it's looking for the ways it's right. So if it's looking for ways you're going to louse it up, guess what it's going to attract? It's going to attract things because that's what it's looking for, the things in your world where you've effed it up or loused it up or haven't measured up or don't perform highly enough, or you're lazy or stupid or whatever the flavor of the month is. And that's what it finds. Does it find the awesomeness in you? No. Does it find all the ways that you've knocked it out of the park? No. Does it find the ways you've been kind and loving and patient with other people in your life? No. Just like the TSA doesn't really give a shit about how many t-shirts are in your bag. This is what's causing your, and here's the other piece is, guess which guess what you pay attention to? You pay attention to the voice that's telling you what a louse you are. Just like the TSA pays attention to the bad shit in your bag. You treat the thoughts about those bad things, quote unquote bad things that you're doing, as true. And while in one sense they are true, in one dimension they are true, but there's a lot of other dimensions. There's a lot of other ways of looking at things. There's a lot of other things in your bag besides the CO2 cartridge or the water bottle that you left in there. So I'm thinking this concept through. It's like, for me, it is incredibly powerful, and it's something that I'm going to lean a lot more into in my coaching work. But I've been percolating on this, thinking about this idea, and I wanted to put it together in a video to, I don't know, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think? This is kind of a long video. Some of you aren't going to make it through, but if you did, and it's helpful to you, and if you got any thoughts about it, or if you got any, maybe there's ways to upgrade this model, but man, oh man, it was really, really helpful for me in seeing just how this machine, the mechanics of this system inside of us work. So let me know what you think. Have a great Saturday.